Stalls are perfectly normal for advanced lifters in the gym. Hey everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. This is one of these topics that, you'll get clients who panic. You'll get lifters who panic and they're like, oh, I've got to make some major changes. I need to shock my body. I need to do all of this stuff because I haven't made any gains in the gym for a month. And you kind of look at them and go, well, how much weight did you gain? They're like, what? I'm slow bulking, I'm lean bulking. It's like, oh, okay, but you're not a noob anymore, right? We get caught in this concept because of all the successful noob programs that, man, I should be putting 5 pounds on the bar every week, on the big lifts. Obviously 5 pound jumps on small lifts are never going to happen, right? Those are sometimes a year. Right? We all understand this, right? There's no way you're putting 5 pounds on your curls every month. If you did, we would all be curling 800 pounds. Or, joking aside, even novice lifters would be curling, 150, 180 pounds in no time, right? Okay, so let's not be silly with this. A 5 pound jump on a barbell curl is massive. 5 pound jump on a tricep extension for 10 is massive. Okay, that's massive. So we're usually talking about the bigger lifts, and hopefully people understand that. But people get hung up in this, I should be making continual progress. Well, you should be making continual progress, right? Progress can absolutely be linear, but it's going to be slow linear, and it's going to scale with your muscle mass. The things to remember early on, at least 50% of your strength gains the first couple months in the gym are neurological in nature. We know this, okay? They're neural drive. But what happens when you have actually learned to perform exercises? This is one reason why so many guys think, oh, if I just change exercises, now I'm making progress again. See, I started with this lift and I was able to add 10, 15 pounds of this lift over 3 to 6 weeks. See, I'm making gains. No, you're just getting neural drive, right? You're learning motor patterns on a new movement, kind of like you did as a noob. Okay? But the issue is, once you've been training a little while, it's all about muscle growth. Well, once you've been doing an exercise for a few months, any change in your ability to lift more weight or do more reps is muscle mass. That is what drives it. Unless you're cheating more, unless you're cutting range of motion, right? Unless you're doing something to make the lift easier, once you have learned how to perform a lift correctly and explosively and with good strength and power, your neural gains are 99% tapped out. Literally the only way they increase further is to do 1 rep maxes on that lift. To lift really, really heavy or close to 1 rep maxes. It lifts above 90% of your true 100% everything max. Okay, so if you're all out, 100% grinder is 500 pounds. We mean anything over 450. That's the only thing that's going to increase neural drive beyond that. Definitely not doing 5s or 10s. Once you've been doing a lift for a few months, no, that's not happening. You're done. All right, so put that in perspective. So you ask people, are you chasing neural gains on a new lift? Or are you chasing muscle? Are you trying to get bigger? Okay, and if your goal is to get stronger, you don't need to be rotating out the lifts you're trying to get stronger at, that's for sure. Because then you're losing your neural gains on it. You're losing the motor unit learning. Okay, so are you just trying to get stronger at a new lift on the nervous system side, or are you trying to make gains? Well, most people are trying to make gains. Well, so why are you changing lifts? Because of the progression. But that's just neural. So here's what we mean. Let's assume after that first couple months when you make those really crazy new gains, and then you're still adding, 5 pounds a month to the bar. But how much muscle are you gaining? Ooh, new gains are 1 to 2 pounds of muscle growth. Okay, you're still doing that after the first couple months. You're doing that all the way, probably at least the first 6 months of hard training. So think about that. So you look at that and go, okay, over 5 months, that means I gained 5 to 10 pounds of muscle tissue. And then you'll look at the numbers and realize, you put 50 pounds on the bar. You put 50 pounds on the bar. All right, you guys, let's do the math on this. Let's assume that's from the muscle growth. I mean, we're setting aside the neural drive, because we know that's some of the early gains. So let's set aside that neural drive the first 2 months, and let's go over to just say that last 3 months where you put 30 pounds on your squat, on your bench press, your rows or your pull-ups, whatever, right? 30 pounds. What does that represent? 3 to 6 pounds of muscle growth. Well, how long do you think it takes someone who's been training for 2 or 3 years to gain 3 to 6 pounds of muscle? Well, a year? You've been training 5 years, unless you're on stuff, you're not going to even do that in a year. All right, so let that sink in for a moment. For an intermediate, it could take you 6 months to a year to gain that same muscle again. But a year. If you're an advanced lifter, you're looking at 2 years. So how long should it take you to put 30 pounds on a lift if you're growing successfully? Well, as an intermediate, you're looking at a year. An advanced lifter, you're looking at 2 years. So what does that come down to per month? Do the math on that. 30 pounds a year divided by 12 for an intermediate. All right, I'm going to do the math. You hear me clicking. That's 2.5 pounds a month. So for an advanced lifter, it should take you 2 months to put 2.5 pounds on the bar for 10 reps or 5 reps or whatever it is that you're doing. I'm just giving you guys loose guidelines. I haven't added weight to the bar for a month. It's taken me 2 months to put 1 rep on. I'm stalled. No, that's normal. And then you look at it and go, how much weight did you gain? Well, I didn't. So you're probably recomping a little bit, so that's going to be a little slower. So let's say you make all lean gains, no fat gain, and you make only lean gains on a super clean lean bulk. All right, so to put 15 pounds on those lifts, according to that math we're talking about, you're still looking at like 3 pounds. Did you gain 3 pounds of lean muscle? So in other words, let's say you weighed whatever, 180, I'll just call it 180. And you gained 0 fat, no fat at all, purely muscle. Did you go up to 183? Well, no. Or if you did you gain a single drop of fat? Well, it looked like a little. So you're not stalled, you're just growing too slow. You're not stalled, you're just dealing with the rate of adaptation. You just have to be more patient. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.